Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding Motion. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about why people don't, or usually don't, reach their goals, fitness or otherwise. And this is going to be not the standard sort of information sort of video about, 5 steps to become more alpha or get your goals or be a success story. But what I'm going to talk to you about is something in this day and age, it is the one thing that people are missing out on big time. Right now, we can agree, I'm sure you can agree 100%, that right now we have more social media than ever, but we are the least socialized in comparison to any other decade. Right now, people are so separate, especially the younger guys and girls, they're on their phones all the time. They're so busy just taking photos of themselves or doing video that they ignore everyone in front of them. Like, I've seen people cross the street just looking down at their phone. They're not even paying attention to traffic, the cars in front of them, or anything that's going on. And one thing I'm gonna say that was spurred by an interaction I had recently with an older gentleman, an older gentleman who's a musician, and he wants to be a successful musician. But at the same time, he's also doing a lot of what these younger kids are doing, which is underestimating the value of relationship, or the value of connections. So Mario, are you sure you really like this girl? It's like she's really the one for you? You really think that? Bro, I mean, this just seems like a lot of trouble. I mean, first there's this freaking orangutan or whatever throwing barrels at you, and she's just sitting there, like expecting you to save her. I don't know. It just seems like a recipe for disaster. I don't know if this is really a good relationship, honestly. I mean, what is she doing for you, man? You ever notice that as soon as you do something for this girl, she just wants you to do something else? There's always another level with this girl. I just think you can do better. So back in the day, I was successful as a natural bodybuilder, not necessarily just because of my physique. I had a great physique. I was a top tier competitive natural bodybuilder. But the one thing that I did better than everyone else, or at least a lot of people anyway, I'm sure there were some other people like me, right? But one thing that I noticed I did better than a lot of people is that I made sure I got to know as many people as possible. Not because I was an opportunist, not because I was a con man, but just because I was genuinely interested in understanding and knowing who I was sharing this amazing experience of competition with. I was really genuinely interested in understanding sometimes who my opponent was, or sometimes who was my ally in this journey called fitness, and what did they do in their life. What's working for them? What's not working for them? What are they doing better than what I'm doing? Like, let's compare diet tips. Let's compare training notes. Let's see what works better for both of us in our own training or in our own lives. And there was something very interesting about that. I found that interesting. I don't know why I'm wired that way, but when I was observing other people, it seemed that not everyone was doing the same thing I was doing. It seemed like a lot of people were more obsessed with their own little world in their head and staying separate at any cost, and somehow they felt that they were going to get the most experiences and opportunities in life. Well, it just so happens a lot of the people that I spoke to turned out to be photographers, contest promoters, clothing brand owners, right? People who were in the industry also trying to make a living that could align with me in some way, and therefore sponsorships became possible for me at some times. Like, I didn't make a lot of money, but I did get some help from people from time to time, maybe through a photo shoot or through doing a brochure or magazine for them, right? And at the same time, I met friends who introduced me to more friends. And then I started to build this whole social community that assisted me with producing some sort of small living for myself, or being able to function through doing this hobby called bodybuilding. Now, this same principle applies to any goals that you have in mind. You could go to university and get a massive education. You could get a degree or a diploma or whatever, but eventually somebody is going to have to hire you for a job, or you're going to start your own business and people are going to have to get a hold of you in order to get you to perform whatever service or industry that you're in. You're going to have to basically have customers, right? So in this anonymity age, I feel that people are missing out on the opportunity of getting to know the people in front of you. Look at this. You impressed? Look. Look, I'm jumping.
Your stamina.
See, I'm not even getting tired. I'm not even getting tired. Heart rate's not even higher. Look at this. Look.
Stamina is phenomenal. See,
I can tell you're getting tired. See,
yeah,
I can tell you're getting.
I can't jump very high, not as high as you.
That's right.
Listen,
see,
dude, you need to tell me how to get some stamina.
Yeah, if you did more squats, you'd be able to do this. You'd be able to get away with this kind of stuff. So classic example, this singer who was on my Facebook page, he has a band, he's been doing music most of his life, and he has been on Facebook publicly complaining about how expensive it is for him to be in the studio and produce a song, right? It costs him $10,000 to do an album, you know, all these sorts of things, right? And then he's saying, I don't know how to make it. I can't afford a manager. I don't know, but yeah, it's a big mystery, right? And I've had to listen to him over the last 2 years speak about this similar problem. Now, sometimes I'm inspired to help people. It's a trap. And so I reached out to this person and said, hey, I can help you out with maybe a couple things, a couple ideas when it comes down to producing content for music and so forth and how to get it out there. Just give me a shout and we'll talk. Now, even though this man said he was going to phone me or message me, he never did. And then I reached out to him and said, hey, did I miss your call or something like that? And he says, oh no, I'll message you tonight. And then he didn't again. So he was prejudging whatever the conversation was going to be, even though I told him, hey, I'll give you a few tips for free and help you out. I've got a certain amount of subscribers on YouTube. Probably a little bright right now, isn't it?
You're the star.
I'm the star. I'm a superstar. I'm a star, something star.
Shine.
I shine, that's right. I know a little bit about social media. Maybe I can help you out a little bit. And he did not even investigate what it is that I had to say. Now, back in the day when I was on magazine covers and stuff, I had weirdos call me from time to time or try to get a hold of me.
See, who do you think you are? Yeah, see? Yeah, kiss my ass, kiss my ass. So what are you gonna do about it? Yeah, so what? You're a f***ing coward. You're a f***ing coward. I'm not playing God, I just understand science, idiot.
Sometimes I'd meet people that were shady or not necessarily on the up and up, but I would at least give them a chance to express what it is that they wanted to express, so that way I could see if there was some sort of opportunity for both of us or some sort of conversation that could happen where both parties could benefit. And another place where I see this happening is in the gym, where a lot of the younger crowd and some of the older guys who tend to be pretty miserable at times too, right? You know, they just, you know, life sucks, whatever. They just got their hoodie over their head and they just want to get their training over and done with. And I found that they have followed suit with this sort of social protocol where they just ignore everybody in the gym in front of them, don't talk or do their best to just scowl in every single direction.
Why would you even say something like that?
And piss on any sort of opportunity for relationship or connection. So the one thing I would say is that every single opportunity that came to me was through a conversation. It wasn't through me just ignoring everybody and saying, hey man, I'm busy working out, kiss my butt, you know what I mean? And just walking away. Every single opportunity, it doesn't matter what it was, whether it was me guest posing at a bodybuilding show, because I guest posed at several shows, or if it was me getting sponsored, or if it was me getting a new job, like say doing sales repping or maybe working as a personal trainer in a new location and stuff, it always started with a conversation. So I will say to you, as you are on the road to success in any one area, don't discard people in the process. That's it. Don't discard conversations with people. Don't discard the possibility of these relationships bringing you community, possibly opportunity, and some sort of enlightening sort of conversation or two.
You visiting somebody around here?
These things can change your entire life. I can't tell you how many times in the gym that me and guys would just sit around and talk about training, and we learn from each other about what was working for one person, what wasn't working for another person, and find out where the truth was in that. And through these conversations, we discovered even better techniques to apply to ourselves, and sometimes realized that certain techniques did not apply to everybody.
But when you piece of crap, now I know you're gonna give me my money back.
So this all happened through conversations. It didn't happen through everybody saying, hey, I'm so much in my goals, I'm on my own, and I'm always going to be by myself, right? I'm always going to be a, what do they call it now? A Sigma or something, right? So people say I'm always on my own in my videos. Well, yeah, I choose purposely not to have other people in my videos because I'm just doing my own thing, right? Acting like an idiot, saying mountain and jumping around the woods and hunting monsters, right? But that doesn't mean I don't talk to people when I go out. I'm a very social person in that way because every single person is an opportunity for happiness in a deeper level. And only through conversation can you find out. Mountain. That doesn't apply to Sasquatches. Those guys they're a little grumpy. Just trust me on that one. You can ignore them. So yeah, that's a tip. It's a simple tip, but don't underestimate its power because once you start to see people in a different light and see that there's value in front of you, then a lot of things can happen. Anything can happen. So I hope this helps out with your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. Mount. Natural Gallant.